Hello, this is Barry Anderson, and I'm going to cover how to format a paper in APA style using Microsoft Word. Now, I know a lot of you guys know how to use Microsoft Word, but I see a lot of folks having trouble with the headers, inserting tables, and also the reference page. So I'm going to go through a couple tips and tricks to save you guys some time. Now, I'm using a Mac, and there's several different versions of Microsoft Word out there. So your screen may look a little bit different, but the principles I'm going to use are the same. So let me go ahead and open up a brand new document. And here it is. And let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first thing you want to do is check your formatting before you start typing or doing anything else. Now, you can go to the Format toolbar, and I'm going to click Document. And here we're setting the margins. Now, I have mine preset to 1 inch all around. And if you change it here and then go down and click the default button, it'll change all the documents from here on out. So I like mine set to this, so I set it to this, years ago. So that's a great thing to do. Make sure you set your margins before you get started. The other thing you want to do in formatting is go to Paragraph. And this pulls up your line spacing. Now, this is very important. Make sure your spacing is set to 0 points, and that's before and after your sentences. APA style is double space, so go ahead and change that. And also this little box here, you need to check it. And it says, don't add spaces between paragraphs. A lot of folks don't do that, or they don't know what this box is, and they can't get rid of those spaces. So please make sure you check this before you do anything else. And then we can click OK. All right. Now I'm going to turn on the formatting button so you can see what I'm doing. And that's this little strange little icon here. I want to hit that, and it shows you all the spaces and everything else that's going on. All right, so title page. So first thing you're going to do is type out the title page. So here is a title. The title should be short. It uses upper and lowercase letters, and then my name, and also the university. All right, and that needs to be centered. So let's center all this. All right, and typically it's found not quite in the middle of the page, but just a few lines above that. So we're going to have that, and then we're going to go to the next page by inserting a page break. We're not inserting or spacing all the way down. We want a page break. And to do that, we go to the top and hit break and hit page break. And you'll notice it says page break. That way, no matter if we change this above the page break, it won't affect the next page. So now we're on the next page. And we need to insert the title again. And we're going to do that. All right, and that needs to be centered as well. And now we have the beginning of a paper. Now we do need to insert our header. So to do that, we'll go to the first page. You can click up here in the header area, or you can go up to the toolbar and click on header. Now once you get in the header, you'll see on the ribbon, you want to click on the header button. And then you want to go over here that says different first page. This is very important. Go ahead and click that before you begin, because the headers are different on the first and second page. So if you click that, and then you can go ahead and start typing your header. Now notice the H in head is lowercase. A lot of people mess that up. And then this part of the header is all capital in all caps. All right. Running head is not in all caps. Make sure you get that correct. All right. So once we get that typed, we need to insert a page number. Don't just type a page number. We need to go up to the toolbar, go to Insert, and go down to Page Number. And when we do that, we get this nice little window that pops up. And it gives us alignment options for the page number. And we always want it to the right with APA. And then we hit OK. and it puts a nice page number there. Right. Now let's go down to our second page. Now if you notice, there's no header here, and that's because we clicked that little button that said different from first page, and so we have to type the header again. So let's do that. Hang on. Formatting papers. Now notice there's no running head, the words running head on this page. And then we need to insert our page number again. It's going to be to the right, and click that. And now if we look, we have the words running head on the first page, page 1. We scroll down to page 2, it says formatting papers without the words running head, which is correct. And now we have page 2. And then we're ready to type our paper out. Now what I like to do, when I cut and paste and stuff, you're going to lose some formatting. Now what I like to do is go ahead and add my labels or my headers within the paper. So that may be like methods, it may be literature table, and at the very minimum you want to put down references. Because as you start adding references, the EndNote program will add them at the end of the paper for this. Now with the references, we want to insert a page break so that the reference page is always on a new page. Okay, so I just put my cursor in front of the word reference, and I'm going to hit insert and hit page break. All right. And then we can just start typing stuff in. Now, let's say we have a table that we need to insert. Okay. So I'm going to actually go and copy a table. You can insert a table, a fresh table, or create a table by going up here to the table word in the toolbar and insert a table. You can create a table. A lot of times you'll have a table template that you can select, and that's what I'm going to do now. Okay. Now let's say this is a really big table, and I want to have the page turned. What I'll do is I'll go to insert section break. So instead of a page break, I want to insert a section break, and that's going to allow me to turn the page. All right, so I have my word table here, but I want to turn this page. We'll change the orientation to landscape. All right, I want to show this down so you guys can see this. So if you notice, this page is in a different orientation. So this is called portrait orientation. And then this is in landscape. Now after my table, I need to insert another section break. Okay. So that on the next page, I can turn the page back to a portrait. Okay. And then this may be a different section of my paper, such as, let's see, we can call it synthesis. All right. And then we can add some text. Okay. Now you'll notice these little headers in the paper. Now you may need to center those. And then we can also bold them. And this one, we're just going to hit the center button. We may need it bolded. And the same thing here. Center that and bold. And then on our reference page, we can do that. I always like to have a underneath that. There we go. And then we can. All right. So let's add a couple references so you can see what that's going to look like. So let's just say you're typing, you're typing, you're typing. Then you need to insert a reference. So what I usually do is you go to your EndNote and you can select the reference that you want. All right, and then on this program, it's under Tools. You go to EndNote and hit Insert Selected Citation, and then it'll put the citation in there. Then the period goes after that. So let's say also if you wanted to start the sentence with that same reference. Now normally I wouldn't format a sentence that way, you know, one right the other like that. But let's just say for this purpose, we're going to insert a citation. And we might say, gives a good example or something like that. Okay. But you notice the EndNote puts these parentheses at the beginning, and you don't need those. So what you do is you go to your EndNote toolbar, and we're going to go to Edit and Manage Citation, and then we click on the reference we want to change, and we're going to change that to Display Author Year, and click OK. And that way you notice it reformatted. It put up the word "and" instead of the symbol "and", and then put the parentheses around the date. And then if we look down on our reference page, you'll see that this isn't formatted quite right. It's single space because in EndNote the spacing is different. So then we have to go to our tools again, go to EndNote, and we're going to configure our bibliography. When we do that, this little window pops up, and we're using APA style. We will click over here to Layout. It's Times New Roman 12. That matches our paper. And then down here, we want to click at the double space. Then we click OK. And it'll reformat the double space. I mean, you can add a bunch more references here. Like say if I want to add another one here. Let's see, we'll do white. And you'll notice EndNote will add the reference, format it properly with the other reference, and then add it to the reference page. And now all this is in single space. Okay, so now we have a document. It has all the running heads, the page numbers. We have headers within the document. We turn the page using section breaks. Oh, well here we got a problem. So here when we did the header, we didn't click that different button. So we got to click different or click off of it because it was since you did a new section, it wanted to go back to the first page. So see what I did? I clicked there and I clicked this different first page off. And we're going to do the same thing here. And you can see now that we have the running head. All the page numbers are corresponding properly, and everything looks really good. All right, well, I hope this helps. And there are a lot more training videos online that you can look at.